Every club. Every day. The Global Sports Podcast Network.
Hello and welcome back to Daily Liverpool on the Global Sports Podcast Network. My name is Louie, Easton. Joining me today is Karl, Coppack, and, well, I can't believe I'm saying this. We've just lost to Plymouth Argyle in the FA Cup. Karl, I mean, this is inexcusable, really, isn't it? For a team of our quality. I understand we're playing the youngsters, but it all went wrong, didn't it?
Yeah, I'm all right to say the manager got it wrong. He absolutely got it wrong, and we needed more backup than we got. The Gomez thing absolutely set him backwards because suddenly you've got to play a kid at right back who ended up getting taken off anyway, which is not his fault. I think you go there with a little bit stronger than what he did. I was quite surprised at some of the choices. I like Jotter, but if he stays with Gomez, it's good enough. I know what I mean, but I thought I'm not having to go at the kids at all. I really, really don't want to go at the kids. I thought McConnell did okay. I mean, it's a shame about his miss, obviously, but I don't think he was expecting that somehow. It's the senior players. It's the forward line. I'm furious with more than anything else because they were playing like it was beyond them. And I get the whole. I've been on social media. I've been torn to pieces, and I've backed down a bit. I called Arne Slot everything for basically saying why are you bringing on a frail kid when you can't control the midfield and you've got an England international on the bench? Why not try and win the game, mate? But apparently Jones was injured. He was there in name only.
Oh, for goodness
sakes! It was only. It's not a big one, but why risk it? And I get that completely. That makes perfect sense.
Should have just brought more players, really, shouldn't we? I mean, I understand the whole. We're playing against a team struggling in the Championship, but Arne Slot said it himself. This is like a cup final for them. They're going to be playing out of their skin, and we saw that they did.
And that's my thing. We got bullied. We got bullied because they wanted it more, and I'm fine with saying that. And I'm reading lots of stuff about the bigger game is Wednesday. Of course, the bigger game is Wednesday. I'm not bloody stupid, but there was an awful lack of application, and I'm talking about Elliott, I'm talking about Jotter, I'm talking about Diaz, I'm talking about Chiesa. I want them to go to a game and think, Jesus, these are up for it. Let's get up for it too. And I don't.
Yeah,
we didn't get up. We spent the first half knocking the ball around the back, which is fair enough because they're kids. They just want to touch the ball and get confident. I get that completely. But the forward line, bloody hell, and no one moved.
Yeah, I know you're criticising the senior players. Do you have any sympathy at all for Wasaru Endo? Because he had to go into centre-back. He wasn't prepared to do that, and he had to suffer because Joe Gomez clearly wasn't ready to play yet.
Yeah, I mean, I think he did okay because he's combative. And to be honest, that's the sort of game he likes. He likes it when there's elbows flying all over the place and they're trying to sort of, bully. We shouldn't be bullied by bloody Plymouth. I mean...
I can't believe we're having to have this conversation now. Bullied by Plymouth Argyle.
Yeah.
All I can say is, thank God Wayne Rooney isn't their manager still, because can you imagine? We wouldn't hear the end of it.
I think I'm more disappointed
as well.
I think I'm more disappointed that I had to listen to Sam Matterface and Lee Dixon for 2 hours.
Oh, don't get me started. Honestly, I was the most vocal person when Clive Tildesley got dropped because he was my childhood in the Champions League growing up, and I absolutely love him.
Matterface says at one point, he says, "Oh, well, Endo's going to have to go into centre back, which is unfamiliar ground for him."
Oh,
if you'd read anything about, he plays for years.
It's like he doesn't do his research. It's
just so bad.
It's not unfamiliar territory. It's just not his favourite position.
He's played, maybe I don't know. Maybe a dozen times Liverpool. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, and I think it's also because Joe Gomez had gone off. It was. I don't know. It's just a bad day. I thought the seniors are awful.
That's where we were let down. It also, I thought it was crazy that we started both Gomez and Jotter, and they were our two captains today. Do you have any sympathy for Jotter? I understand he had a very difficult game.
His first game back. He was really bad.
It was not a good showing for his first game back. I mean, other than the volley where
which was great
towards the end, that was unbelievable. But other than that, he didn't really have a pop at goal.
there was one moment where he sort of we broke down in the middle and we got through, and he basically just sort of rolled it to a centre back, and I just thought, get off the pitch, mate. Get off the pitch. You're not starting the derby. If you're going to do that, and it was, it wasn't a challenge or anything like that. He just sort of ran out of options and just sort of, I don't know what to do at Plymouth Argyle. I mean,
you have to give credit to Plymouth though, because they defended unbelievably well. I mean, that Nikola Katic guy, swearing on the TV after the match, he was unbelievable. And Hazard in goal. Well, I say Hazard. I'm so used to saying Hazard.
Yeah.
He in goal was unbelievable, and it's amazing to think he only made 4 saves, but they were all so important.
Yeah, and again, another issue is the fact we didn't do anything for 80 minutes until we suddenly got the 9 minutes injury time, and then we started playing and pushed them back when they got tired. Then we're getting cramped and stuff like that. Yeah, absolutely full credit to them. They got the penalty. It was a penalty. It was a stupid thing, but we didn't have any answers, and it's disappointed me when Liverpool don't answer things like that, because you're going to play teams who aren't as good as you, who are going to work harder than you, and you have to overcome that. And we didn't do that today, and we didn't look like we were ever going to do it. Again, they were saying on the tele, there's 9 minutes. Even if Liverpool score, what a day this is for Plymouth. I thought, we're not going to score. Have you seen us? We haven't been near their box. But I thought they were excellent, Plymouth. I like the big lad up front as well. Bundu, I thought he was very good.
Bundu, yeah.
Yeah, the referee was terrible. They're always terrible, aren't they?
Oh, it makes you miss VAR, doesn't it? Seeing that match.
Jesus, yeah, it was.
It was so annoying as well when the offsides were being given, even though they kept possession. And you just miss it because it takes the sting out of the game a bit. And I know Plymouth are used to it and we're not, but that's no excuse at all. It's just it's frustrating as a fan watching it more than anything. I'd like to talk more about Harvey Elliott as well. Obviously, the man who gave away the penalty. He hasn't had too much playing time this season. I really thought this would be it. He obviously had his issues with injury earlier in the year as well. But I mean, it was a complete off day for him.
He stacked the ground out. He absolutely stacked the ground out. There's an argument to say he's our worst player. I can't think of anyone who had a worse game than him. And even without the penalty thing, there was so many loose touches. There was like balls being underhit or overplayed, or
it was the balls at the end as well when he was trying to punt it up the pitch. It just looked hopeless, really.
Yeah. And again, for me, that's just a lack of not even application. I agree with the manager said we worked hard enough, but we didn't create. We need to create more. We didn't create for 80 minutes, and he's a senior player. He's an international player, and there was just so much. It's almost like the game was beneath him somehow. Like if I'm not winning this in the first 15 minutes, then I don't like this, and he just sort of.
It seems odd to criticise Harvey Elliott based on effort because he's the one that runs more than anyone else, but it looked completely hopeless today.
Yeah. But what he's told me today is he's not starting the derby, is he?
No, absolutely. Well, he wouldn't have played today if he was starting the derby.
Yeah,
but I mean, that just confirms it. I mean, we see the difference when Szoboszlai plays, and we took that for granted earlier this season.
There's an argument saying that Szoboszlai plays today, we win.
I hear that as well.
Because he had he's got every single thing that you don't want to if that's your game to press. Because he just wouldn't. I mean. Szoboszlai doesn't let the opposition alone. We didn't go near the opposition today.
Yeah. I also think as well, one of the main reasons we lost was, I mean, it all went downhill when Gomez went off, obviously, but you look at our back line, it was Tsimikas, Endo, slightly out of position, as Sam Matterface highlighted earlier.
Top pundit, Sam Matterface. Yeah.
It was Tsimikas, it was Endo, it was Quansah, and it was Mabaya, and McConnell went back into midfield. And that defence was being covered by the inexperienced Nioni and McConnell as well. I mean, I understand that you can't really point the finger at them as much as the forward senior players, but I mean, you really miss someone like Virgil van Dijk who can just play it out of the back naturally. Because I thought Mabaya, when he came on, I know it's his debut, but he kept on passing it backwards. He was sort of scared to take on.
Because they just want, I mean, that's perfectly understandable. Because you just want to think, all I want to do is hit a white shirt every single time I pass the ball, and you don't want to take risks. because you just want to get through and think, I had a sound debut for Liverpool today. And I did really like, I'd say the manager got a lot wrong, but I did like the fact the manager pulled him and said, this is why I'm doing it. It's not against you. It's about the system I'm going to play now. And you can't be a part of that. Also, he didn't have a bad game or anything like that. This is a bit unlucky with the booking, I think, but he was booking everyone at that point. And you can't really do that. And then the midfield, I really like McConnell. I think McConnell's got a future.
Yeah,
I just wish the two of them had someone in there with them. And that's why I was really glad Curtis Jones didn't get on and just sit between them and say, right, we do this, lads, for the next 5 minutes we do this. And there was none of that. So it was all a bit sort of panicky. And imagine McConnell scores the goal, we probably go through. So
I find it weird that Morton didn't play as well. I mean, I thought this would be the sort of game for him as well, because he has. Player. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He played plenty in the Championship for Hull. Why didn't he do it? And Blackburn as well. Why doesn't he do it today? I understand you want to give opportunities to the youngsters who came through the academy. I mean, Nioni loves the club to bits. I can't understand Slot's logic before the game. No. Picking the team that he did, it makes no sense to. And starting McConnell at right back, I know I don't watch much LFC TV. I don't really watch the academy games, but isn't his best position meant to be in midfield? It seemed sensible to put Endo in the centre.
Or a 6 adjacent player, and that bear. The League Cup final against Chelsea last year. God, he was immense.
He was brilliant. The tactical foul as well still lives in my mind.
Yeah. He's not a right back. I think we've got a bit of a problem at right back, because if you haven't got the main one and the other one, you're resting him for the derby, which I completely agree with. Obviously, I don't know. I'm just furious.
I think that's why he risked Gomez at right. Well, actually, no, because Gomez plays centre back. I don't understand. Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things, isn't it? SVs. I'm calming down about it, because I mean, Gomez and Kwanzaa, you think, yeah, that'll do. What you don't want is Canate there, you don't want to risk that before the derby.
Do you remember the League Cup match earlier in the season against Brighton, where they both looked quite shaky there? Yeah. I thought. Well, I don't think
Plymouth Argyle again. That should be all right against Plymouth Argyle, who won with a penalty. And fair play to them, obviously, but you think that should be enough.
I just didn't think Kwanzaa's going to be good enough for Liverpool.
I'm not sure. I had a message from
feels harsh,
who said the problem we've got we've got some good young players coming through, but none of them are like Owen coming through or Gerrard when he had the skinhead or anything like that. They're all right, but there's nothing explosive in there. And I said technically Kwanzaa's established. I like Kwanzaa. I think he's got a rick in him, but I think that's only because of his age. Obviously, I love Conor Bradley, obviously, because how could you like football and not like Conor Bradley? But I don't know. It's been a bit sobering, I think, for the academy players. The lads who got sent off against PSV.
Mallow,
But Mabayo today, who went on and then got pulled. I'm fairly sure that's just a system thing rather than anything like that. And I think the manager will learn a lot about his players today, but I hope he learns more about his senior players than the kids, because the kids don't. That's a hard place to go for your debut. FA Cup, Bobbly pitch, they're all into it. The referees,
Plymouth fans are amazing as well.
Yeah. I've got no problem with. I like Plymouth. It's a proper kit. I like their kit. It's very good.
Oh, it's a lovely kit.
And I will be getting on to Classic Builders immediately after this podcast to get a quote for Classic Builders. But yeah, let's just say I'm calmer now than I was at full time when I basically wanted Diogo Jotter to walk home in his pants. With Harvey Elliott.
It's a long way from the south coast. A long way.
Yeah, and I thought Nunez was all right, but then again, the bit where Jotter does something really, really good when he puts the ball on the 6-yard line and drags it across, and he's nowhere near it. I think that's your job.
Yes,
that's your job.
That's where he should be. That's what Nunez is actually. That's meant to be his best quality, his positioning. Nowhere to be seen in that moment, and I was really angry with him.
If you hit that blind, all you think is, if I can run that across the 6-yard line, then someone will be there, and it should be him. Didn't get there.
Yeah,
and that's 70 and there was a lot of not getting there today.
Yeah, sums up our game, really, doesn't it? We're going to take a short break, and then we'll summarise our feelings after this.
The Global Sports Podcast Network is changing the face of football podcasts. With dedicated daily content for every Premier League team, Women's football, fantasy football, and a daily Premier League wrap-up broadcast in 5 different languages. It's your one-stop shop for your daily football fix. Find GSBM wherever you find your usual podcasts. Do you have a story that the world needs to hear? Have you struggled with reaching new audiences who are engaged with your story? Well, it might be time for you to start a podcast. Let me tell you about a platform we use here at Global Sports Podcast Network. Zencastr makes it easy to start a high-quality podcast built for growth from day one. With 4K video recording from your phone and AI editing that automatically removes the ums, as, you knows, and 22 other speech patterns, Zencastr makes it super easy to start a podcast that sounds great. Ready to tell your story? Well, check out the link in the show description to learn more about Zencastr.
So plenty of inexperienced players in Liverpool shirts. I mean, that's essentially what it boils down to. I mean, I think the main reason we lost as well, and the reason we looked so flat in the first half, is because a lot of these players have never played with each other before.
No.
I mean, especially Chiesa, someone who's new to our only signing all season.
Yeah.
And he started on the right, finished on the left, and he kept on having a go, but just couldn't get anything. They were all doubling up on him, like you mentioned before.
There was one bit where he took the ball off Diaz, and I thought, you shouldn't be near each other. You should be on the opposite flank.
I couldn't even understand our formation at the end
No,
because
I couldn't.
It seemed like Jotter, Diaz, and Chiesa were all in the same position at the end.
And with Quansah as a 9, despite the fact we've already got a 9 at the end. No,
and Harvey Elliott playing at centre back as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course you do, because of his height and his power. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Well, that's the FA Cup. That's our. I mean, I never was pushing the whole quadruple thing anyway, but that's our quadruple gone. It's our treble gone.
I'm made up for Plymouth. I genuinely am happy for them. They're a proper club. I've been to that ground, and it's a lovely place, and it's a absolute 100% credit to them. But we did not make it easy for them.
No, they made it very hard for us, and like it's always difficult watching Liverpool play against a team that has a really low block. I mean, that's why we struggle against Nottingham Forest, because they spend majority of their football without the ball, and when that works, it's so effective against us. It really
but we didn't block them in though,
being
did we?
creative.
But we didn't block them in. If it's a low block, you stand around them and basically you just pass it around them until you pull them this way and that way until you get the opening, and then you do it that way, which is what we're good at. We didn't get near them. There was no point where we were stringing balls across the midfield while they were all packed in.
Yeah, and it's amazing that one of our best chances came from Quaveen Kelleher.
Yeah.
Right at the end.
Yeah. If that goes in,
I mean, that's
get your Wembley ticket. We're going to win everything, and it's frustrating though, because I mean because of the other results, both both Manchester clubs very, very close to going out. Everton, obviously, Chelsea are out.
Yeah, and we were buzzing with the draw at the time as well.
Yeah, just a bit of a wasted opportunity, that I think. But
well, if anything, it just means we can focus more on the Premier League. I mean, that's the only positive we can take out of it. It's less midweek football.
Bit of humility is always welcomed.
Yes,
I think.
Yeah, and for the new fans who started supporting Liverpool because they wanted us to win everything, they were glory hunters. Now they can understand what it's like to not have things so easy.
No,
because I mean, it reminds me of the Oldham one. Do you remember the Oldham one?
I was thinking that's our worst FA Cup appearance. I was at that game. I was in the second row. And I've said this on another podcast before. The most damning thing for that I remember that tie back foot, which was Robinson, Jones in goal, Robertson, Wisdom, I think Carragher and Coates, I want to say. No, maybe Skirtle was Skirtle, I think it was Skirtle.
Suarez was playing and captaining, I think, wasn't he?
We played 4-2-4, which was ludicrous. Joe Allen scored his first Liverpool goal, I want to say. And when the fourth goal went in, I was so close to the pitch, not one player spoke to another player. I'll never forget that as long as there was no, come on, what are you doing? Okay, well, that didn't go right. What they didn't speak. That's the worst back four I've ever seen. That was a terrible game and an awful long drive back as well. So I was living in London at the time, South London.
That's where I live.
Yeah, that's a long drive. Tooting to Oldham is an unpleasant there and back in the day.
Tooting's where I was born.
Yeah.
Hey,
If you've lost
that's
two,
a long way from Oldham, and I mean, getting out of Tooting is an absolute nightmare as it is.
if
All
you've got to get
those
up,
20-mile-an-hour zones.
if you've got to get up Trinity Road to the South Circular and then go through the M4,
God, I hate that area.
that's that's
That will mean nothing to the Liverpool fans.
no,
Or maybe it will, but
that's unpleasant.
God.
But
All
yeah,
the way to Oldham.
doing that in a day and then be told by Brendan Rodgers that we were a bit unlucky. We is that the one where he said that the occasion we were a bit overawed by the occasion? Oh no, that was the Villa semi-final. We were a bit overawed by the occasion. It's Aston Villa.
The Coutinho goal being, because that was when Benteke was playing with Fabian Delph, and they just absolutely had their way with us. If that's the semi-final we're talking about.
We played 7 midfielders that day. 3 of them as the front 3.
Oh, God, your memory is much better than mine.
I was there. Believe me, I had a long walk. I wrote a book about that. Well, the final chapter of the book I wrote with Slash and the Crowleys about that.
And I want to say the Oldham one is where Brendan Rodgers' son was playing. Is that right?
Yes, I think
that's the only other thing I remember about. Oh no, that might have been the one where we got them again and won.
The 5-1 at Anfield, yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway, the joys of reflecting on losing against teams that we really should be beating.
Humility. Think humility.
Yes. It's a very humbling moment for Liverpool fans this season, because it felt like everything was going our way right until we played the mighty Plymouth Argyle, who, as you mentioned, massive credit to them. They absolutely deserved their win today.
They fought for everything today, and we didn't.
And I wish them the very best in the FA Cup. Hopefully they can knock another Premier League giant out, and then that will make us feel a little bit better.
I'm going to back them. They're my new team.
Yeah, no, so do I. Yeah, Plymouth Argyle for the FA Cup. That would be much better than the Wigan one, won't it? And I can't tell you when the last time was that a team outside of the top flight won the FA Cup. I couldn't tell you.
Probably was Wigan, I imagine.
No, because Wigan got relegated that season.
They got relegated that season. In that case, it would have been West Ham 1980.
That's 24 years before I was born.
Portsmouth and Cardiff. Were Portsmouth down at that point? I think it probably was West Ham. I have to look that up now.
What, 2008?
Were Portsmouth down at that point?
No, but they were about to go down. But they spent all of their money on the team. You know, that was when they had Campbell in defence, Glenn Johnson at right back, David James in goal.
Yeah.
So they were just about to go down and had
Defoe.
to be saved. Yeah, Jermaine Defoe was there.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that will wrap up our podcast. Karl, I hope to review a match with you in the not so distant future with a polar opposites feeling after the match. But
I'm angry.
Always a pleasure to be with you.
I'm angry because the senior players let Liverpool down today. I'm still a little bit annoyed with the manager I thought he just blowed it off, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I get the whole, yes, but that's not our priority. But what annoys me more than anything else is I don't want to see a Liverpool team being out-fought.
Especially in the fourth round.
In the fourth round of the FA Cup against Plymouth Argyle. And there's nothing bad against them. But I just hope that Arne Slot tonight is on the coach back or whatever, I imagine they're flying, is just going to look up to a few of the players and just raise his eyebrows and go, really? That's just not good enough. That's not.
Well, I back Arne Slot, obviously. He doesn't seem like the sort of person.
I've deleted the thing I said on Blue Sky about him, that he can go and do something to himself.
Okay.
Yeah, I've deleted that because I didn't know about the Curtis Jones thing.
You're a very reactive man, Karl. A very emotional football fan.
I don't like losing. I don't mind losing when we should have lost. I don't mind that at all. That can happen. You know, if it's if we lose to Man City are a good team. I get that completely, but not when we don't compete. And I don't think we competed enough today. And I'm not the kids, the seniors.
Yes, I'm just looking at we had one expected goal. They had 1.23. So, I mean, I hate that stat anyway.
Is the draw tomorrow?
Oh God, I couldn't tell you. I don't care. It's just, I mean, it's
I
only
want to
the
see
FA
who
Cup.
we could have got.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that.
Forest play tomorrow, so it must be tomorrow. Oh, and I tell you what, one of my mates said, at least I don't have to watch the one show now, so it must be on the one show tomorrow.
Oh God! Well, at least Jermaine Genius isn't on there anymore.
That is true. Absolutely
not getting the coin.
Let's end this with some positives. We don't have to listen
Yes.
to Sam Matterface
We
anymore.
don't have to listen to Sam Matterface or Jermaine Genus.
We don't have to watch.
Tomorrow night. Tomorrow
Yes,
night.
we don't have to watch the one show. We get weekends back now, which is quite nice.
We've got the League Cup final to look forward to.
And Arne Slot knows a bit more about the players who can't quite make it to the first team.
Yes, and we also get the idea that the player of the Euro 2021 has now had a humbling night at Plymouth. What a football story.
I still like him.
I love him. Absolutely love him. But the idea that he's struggled at Plymouth now after being the talk of the Euros when Italy won it, it's quite something.
Arguably player of the tournament. He was fantastic.
He was brilliant.
Absolutely
I think he's better off the left wing as well. I don't want to get into a massive talk because I've tried to end this podcast like 4 times. But
let's be positive. No more Sam Matterface.
Yeah. No more Sam Matterface. There we go. And we'll end it there. Thank you very much for joining us on Daily English. That's the other one. Daily Liverpool. After a humbling but ending on a positive evening against Plymouth Argyle. And we'll see you tomorrow for Tactics Tuesday, where we look back on this match and also look forward to Everton. That will be a big one. See you for that.
Every club, every day. The Global Sports Podcast Network.